Hello, welcome to GP Podcast. I'm your host, and today we are diving into a breakthrough that could fundamentally change how artificial intelligence thinks. We often think of AI as getting smarter simply by getting bigger, more data, more computing power. But what if there's a paradox, a deep inefficiency right at the heart of how they operate? It turns out our most advanced AIs are kind of forgetful. Unlike you and me, they have to rebuild simple concepts from scratch every single time they see them. Just imagine that, the sheer amount of wasted energy just to relearn the basics over and over and over again. So let's really get into this big memory problem. We're going to use a super simple example to show you what's going on. Okay, so when you see a name like Alexander the Great, your brain just knows it. The recall is instant. But for an AI, even if it's seen that name millions of times, it's a whole new puzzle. It has to spend a shocking amount of work just piecing the concept together every single time. Now, the industry did come up with a pretty clever workaround for this. It's called Mixture of Experts, or MO. You can think of it like a cheat code that only activates the parts of the AI's brain it needs for a specific task. It's efficient for sure, but it doesn't solve that core problem, the lack of a real, actual memory. But now, researchers at a company called DeepSeek are proposing something completely different, a truly revolutionary solution. And it's inspired by a concept that's been around for more than 100 years. They're calling it ENGRAM. And the philosophy behind it is just beautiful in its simplicity. Stop making the most powerful part of the AI's brain do all the boring, repetitive work. Instead, give it a dedicated high-speed memory just for those common phrases and patterns. So, how does this assistant inside the brain actually pull this off? It's not just some simple lookup list. It's a really elegant 3-step process that's both incredibly fast and intelligent. First, the system spots a common pattern of words. Then, it uses this super fast system to instantly pull the meaning from a giant memory warehouse. But here's the genius part. It has a truth detector. A little gatekeeper inside the AI asks, "Hey, does this memory actually make sense right now?" If it fits the context, great. If not, it just ignores it, and the main brain handles it the old-fashioned way. Okay, so the theory sounds great, but does it actually work in the real world? Well, they put it to the test, and the results were even better than they had hoped. On this key benchmark, don't worry too much about the name, just know that a lower score is better. You can see the standard model is at 2.091. But when you add ENGRAM, that score drops a lot. This just means the AI is making way fewer mistakes and understanding language more accurately without needing any more power. But here's what really blew everyone away. Yeah, general knowledge got better, that makes sense. But ENGRAM also improved things that require pure thinking. I'm talking about reasoning, coding, and even math. That was totally unexpected. And this new memory system, it becomes ridiculously important when the AI has to process huge documents. This is where ENGRAM really starts to show off. Just look at this. On a test where a tiny little fact is hidden in a massive document, the classic needle in a haystack problem, the standard model found it about 84% of the time. Not bad. The ENGRAM model, a stunning 97%. That is a huge leap in the model's ability to just focus on what's important. So why? Why does a simple memory module make an AI better at pure thinking? The explanation is just fascinating, and it tells us something really fundamental about how these AI brains work. Essentially, by handling all the simple, boring stuff, ENGRAM frees up the rest of the AI's brain. The parts of the AI that are supposed to be figuring things out aren't getting bogged down trying to remember what New York City is. And this has a profound effect. The model becomes deeper, much faster. It's like giving it extra brain layers for free. Its early layers start acting like the much more advanced layers of a regular model. This lets the AI's most powerful parts focus entirely on complex reasoning instead of getting stuck in the weeds. So what this all means is that we might be on the edge of a future where AI brains are no longer just these massive brute force calculators, but something closer to thinkers with genuine instant recall. This one simple idea could be the key that unlocks the next level of artificial intelligence. If you liked the video, subscribe, leave a like, comment on what you liked most, and share the video.